Yo, 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 welcome to the show, the CTB. It's your boy Jay Slay, my boy Mon. Say what up to him, Mon.
What's up, everybody? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.
Most definitely, most definitely. Today we're going to talk about the welterweight picture and how we see the welterweight picture going. And who's the real welterweight king? It's going to be an interesting topic here because we've been debating about this topic for about 7 years right now.
Oh, yeah, long time.
Long time. We probably have this debate since Crawford was at 135, 140. So this conversation been coming a long time coming.
It might get hot in here today.
Yeah, but how you feel about Crawford saying he don't want to talk about the Spence fight no more? He kind of done with that. I mean, like I said, it has been going on for 7 years, so I kind of understand where you're coming from. But how you feel? You think he just trying to do a little duck tactic?
No, I think it's just, I don't think he ducking. I think it's just a tactic he using. I think the business gonna get done a lot better when they stop talking in the public. So I think it's good that all the back and forth on Twitter and saying stuff about each other in interviews. If you really want to get the fight made, I think when things go quiet, I think that's good for us boxing fans. That it's quiet. But I think if it's quiet, that means that they're in some type of negotiation, which is what I need to hear anyway. Because I'm really ready for that Spence and Crawford fight. But until then, I think we got a lot of interesting things going at the welterweight division. That we
man. Welterweight been the most popular division since Mayweather days, so I don't think that's going nowhere for a long time. Between 135 and 147, they probably have the deepest talent in the whole sport. So I don't see welterweight going nowhere in time soon. I agree with you. I don't think Crawford really ducking. I think Crawford really will fight anybody. I don't really think he's ducking Spence at all. I think he might be a little bit full of himself. I'm willing to admit that. I think he's full of himself. I really think that he still feels he's financially on the Spence level. I think a lot changed since. I'm one of the people that back when Spence fought Porter, I was one of those people that was saying it was a profit split of 50-50 at that point. You had a former unified champion and a new, I would say, more developed champion at that point when he fought Porter. Mm-hmm. I think he emerged and he wasn't as popular as he is at this moment now that he beat Garcia. I think now Spence popularity has risen to a point where Crawford can't claim 50-50 anymore. I really think he can't claim that no more. I think especially when it comes to pay-per-view numbers. So how do you feel about that? How you feel about pay-per-view numbers possibly being the influence of this fight no longer being 50-50?
I mean, when it comes to the pay-per-view numbers, that's my go-to. I'm always behind the money. And I know boxing fans don't want to hear that because for boxing fans, we just want to see the fight get made. Right. And I understand that. But we got to kind of look at it from the boxer's perspective and the business side that they looking at. So I kind of take my fan perspective glasses off and I put on my business glasses on and I try to figure out what the fighter is thinking and what he's trying to get. So when I seen the 60-40, I think that's pretty fair. I think with the pay-per-view numbers that Spence is bringing in right now, even doing well during the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? Because he had the highest gate sales for the year, even more than Canelo, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, he has to beat Canelo this time.
So that was big to me, but I think with Crawford accomplishments and his accolades, he deserved 40%. But like you said, I think 60% for Spence right now. I think if they both can agree to those numbers, I think they have a chance for the fight to get made. But could be a tactic from both of them because, like you said, the rumor is his contract is up in October.
We'll see. So, that's the rumor.
So if that's the case, maybe Crawford and Spence know something that both of us don't know. Maybe they plan it and they hyping up the fight. But in all actuality, they saying in October we're gonna get it on, but maybe we're gonna just cut Top Rank out. So
that's if Crawford is a smart businessman here, do that. That's what he should be doing anyway. He shouldn't be signing another contract with Bob Arum. Especially not to mention the lack of publicity or the lack of promotion he's been getting for the last 2 to 3 years now on ESPN. They was pretty much putting all their marketing power behind Lomachenko
and Fury
and Tyson Fury. So him being a unified champion and still undefeated, and them not putting the marketability behind him, I don't see no reason why. If he did, I think he'll lose a lot of fans if he re-signed with Bob Arum. But we talking about the welterweight division in entirety today. We talking about the entire picture. Since, like you said, rumors are that he's going to be a free agent in October. They got to have an in-between fight between now and then. They can't just sit on the shelf for the next 9-8 months. So they don't have a fight lined up. Who do you think should fight? You think they should just focus on their mandatories, or you think they should actually focus on a big name in the sport? For Spence, but for Spence, you still got the people still craving the Porter fight. It's like Porter's a hot topic right now. Porter can actually fight both fighters. Yeah, he one of the few fighters that actually have that claim that he can be able to fight both fighters between him and Pacquiao. But I don't see Pacquiao fighting either one of them.
Exactly. If I am Spence, of course, this for Spence and Crawford. People can say what they want to say. You go after the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's the biggest fight. That's the most money. People can say he an old man. Why you chasing the old man? Old man bring money in the house.
Facts.
So for Spence and it also gives them more leverage, because if Crawford get that Manny Pacquiao fight, it's going to be good pay-per-view numbers. He's going to get another belt. Now you're talking about it could be a 50-50 fight as far as the split, because he's going to do good on pay-per-view with Manny Pacquiao, and he's going to get 2 belts. So now you got an even playing field.
Oh! You passed up something though. Pacquiao no longer has that belt.
Oh, that's right.
Pacquiao got stripped of his title because he was trying to fight Ryan Garcia, a 135-pounder.
Sure was. That's right.
Yeah, so he got stripped, and they made Ugas their title holder.
So with that situation, I still believe if he can fight Manny Pacquiao, even without the super WBA belt, he still can get more leverage with the Spence fight. And of course, Spence wants the Manny Pacquiao fight. But if you can't get Manny Pacquiao, because at this stage, Manny Pacquiao he done did all he can do in the sport. If he wants to fight whoever he want to fight, I can't get mad at the man. Mm-hmm. The man done put his years in and did what he was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But if you take him out of the equation, I need Spence to fight Ugas, and I need Crawford to fight Porter. I want to see Porter and Crawford. I know Porter don't have a belt, but if he can't get Spence in the ring and he can't get Manny Pacquiao in the ring, then he's gonna have to go with Porter. And I really want to see the fight. I'm intrigued how that fight play out.
How you think that fight to play out?
Well, for me,
give me your play by play, your punch by punch breakdown.
Okay.
It's 10 to boxing, man. We don't cut no corners. Let them know how you feel.
We ain't cut no corners. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna play out.
All right.
Porter and Crawford. This is the key. Well, Crawford is a lot longer than Porter, so he's gonna keep him at bay. He's gonna try to box him and move on his feet. The thing with Porter is he stays in your ass. So the only way Crawford's gonna keep Porter off his ass, he's gonna have to hurt him the first 2 or 3 rounds. He will have to hit him with something and say, if you come up in here, I will put your ass to sleep. If he can't do that, it's gonna be a rough, tough, close 7-5, 6-6 type of fight. And I can't wait to see it if it happens. I'm intrigued because with Crawford, I think he's a hell of a talent. I love Crawford talent. But with me, I've never been a fan. I mean, I know you may not agree. I've never been a fan of his opposition. Never been a fan of his opposition. But with the Porter fight, that'll be one fight that he makes, and I say, I don't know, man. I really don't know if he can win. And I have never seen Crawford in a fight where I thought he had a dude had a chance of beating him. Every fight he's fought, I thought he gonna whoop the dude ass. Even with the Brook fight, people got caught up in it, but I never thought Brook had a chance. I thought he was gonna whoop his ass like he did. And I think Brook had 1 or 2 good little rounds. He figured him out. He walked him right into a straight, and it was good night. Yeah. So that's the way I see it playing out. Now I know yours is gonna be a little different. So tell me how you see that Porter and Crawford fight playing out.
I think people forget the dog that Crawford got in him. While pretty much all Porter has is dog. His whole fight style is dog. he's like you say, he's gonna stay in your neck. He's gonna stay on your ass the whole fight like a pit bull. Once you grab onto your neck, he's not coming off your neck. This is what he's known for. But I think fighting somebody like Crawford, that can be his downfall. Cause while Crawford, I will give you this: Crawford does have a habit of fighting to the level of his opposition. When he's fighting people, he has a tendency of like not taking them seriously in the first round. I think he coasts too much in the early rounds. I think those early rounds is what's going to be key to what happens in the fight. If Crawford, like you said, if Crawford don't land something to keep Porter off of him in those early rounds, it could be a long night for him. But it can be turned also, because if Porter can't land a shot, if Porter is just swinging and missing wildly and gassing out and chasing Crawford around the ring, in the late rounds, Crawford has a tendency of picking you apart by switch hitting. And I think Crawford can do better against Porter than Spence did. I think Spence made it a closer fight than he needed to. I think Spence could have made it a little more easier fight if he stayed on the jab a little more. But Spence also doesn't have the foot mobility that Crawford has, or the ability to switch hit. And to be honest, really, I haven't really seen it, but Spence really don't have the ability to actually like set traps by moving backwards. He more of a walk you down, I'm gonna beat you up type fighter. He can backstep and do a jab. He can backstep, throw a straight right. But I never seen him actually take angles on people to the point where they don't want to throw a punch the way Crawford is known for doing. So 7-5, you said it was your score. You never said which way, but I would lean a little higher than that. I would gonna give Porter 4 rounds. I think the first 4 rounds would probably be Porter. But I think after that it'd be boxing class. I think he'd just outbox Porter pretty easily, actually.
Man, I will say, Crawford, when he first moved up to 147, I was unsure how strong he was for that weight division.
A lot of people were.
To me, I don't have that question anymore. He's a lot stronger than people think he is. He has a wrestling background, and he done filled out in the division. So he ain't a little man no more. When he first got there, I said, I don't know how he gonna hold up with the top guys at 147. So I don't think the size is gonna be a problem. But once again, you got a guy in Porter that fought all the way up to in the amateurs. He fought all the way up to 165. Fought people like Daniel Jacobs and
he's a naturally bigger dude. But
he's a thicker guy.
Yeah, he's naturally
fighting bigger guy. So,
but he's not known for his punching power either. Porter he's known the way I say about Spence. He's known as a walk you down, beat you up, pit bull type fighter. He's not known for any type of like he has no alternate game plan that's been shown. I have not seen him do multiple game plans, but I've seen multiple layers of Crawford to know that Porter. I don't see Porter having any success against him past the 4th round. I think after the 4th round, it's going to be a boxing class. That if Crawford don't hurt him, because like I said, Crawford. His power is still underrated. And I think Porter would go in there thinking.
So what you trying to say? You trying to say he'll stop? You trying to say
I won't say he'll stop Porter, because Porter never been stopped. But he has been dropped by left hand punches. Like Spence dropped him with the left hand. And Adrian Broner dropped him with the left hand. A left hook, actually. So I think the switch hitter in Crawford, who has basically decent power in both hands, especially in the 135, 140. Just the ones, I won't call the Brook fight as a power display because Brook was hurt. He was known to be hurt. He was kind of, from where you would say he was washed. I don't think Brook was washed at that point. I just think he was underestimating Crawford punch. The same way Amir Khan was. So, but you really can't say that Crawford's punch is good because people would say those 2 fighters that he fought didn't display the best chins, or was like you say with Brook, he was washed. So I think Crawford gonna go in this fight thinking he has to prove his punch, and I think he's gonna go in there and try to knock Porter out. I'm being honest. That's why I say the first 4 rounds are gonna be essential. The first 4 rounds is gonna be, I think, Porter, because Crawford gonna be a slow starter like normal. But I think in between Porter being all wild and Porter coming straight forward with his head right in center line and all that good stuff, I think he's gonna get caught. Will he get stopped? I don't know. I'm not claiming that, but I wouldn't be surprised if you get dropped. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it.
So
if Crawford stops Porter, That would be impressive to me. Like I said, I don't think anybody at 147 can stop Porter. So if Crawford can somehow stop Porter, oh man, to me that would put a lot of pressure on Spence to make that fight next.
They would have to make that fight next. They would have no other choice, I feel. Because they would have two common opponents at that time. And at that point, Brooks would have stopped both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, whether Kell Brook was the same fighter or not, he dominated Kell Brook in a way that Spence didn't. Even if he wasn't the same fighter that he was when he fought.
Whoa. He said dominate Brooks.
He dominated Brooks in a way that Spence didn't.
How you figure that?
He knocked him out in the earlier round.
He did, but I mean,
and he had Brook running away from after the second round. Brook wasn't the same fighter when he fought Spence. I give you that. Brook was still Brook at that moment. He didn't fight the same way he fought Triple G or he fought Spence. And Crawford did a good job of making sure that Brooks couldn't land nothing but a jab. He made sure he took Brooks' right hand away. So
he was swelling up a little bit though now. So a little swelling early.
Was I sweating early? Not at all, because
we said what now?
You said was I sweating early or no?
No. I said I saw a lot of swelling from Crawford early in that fight. Guys was swelling up a little bit. So that jab was giving him a little bit of a problem. Yeah. And I was a little concerned until that third round came around.
He took the jab.
But like you said, he's a slow starter.
Yeah, he's a slow starter. And I think sometimes Crawford falls into the play of trying to switch hit too much. But again, we're talking about the entire welterweight division. So we would both like to see that fight actually of Porter and Crawford. I think that'd be if we can't have the Spence Crawford fight, I think that would be the next fight I would like to see. If not Pacquiao, of course. But nobody's waiting for Pacquiao. But speaking of Pacquiao, he's now trying to fight to keep his belt. He's trying to dispute the ruling of the WBO, I think it is. He's trying to fight the ruling.
The WBA.
WBA. He's trying to fight the ruling that they made of trying to script him. And the only way I see him being able to have a claim to even try to dispute I don't know. I just feel like he has to fight Ugas. I don't see no other way around it. What you think about that?
To me, at this stage, if Manny Pacquiao, if he wanting to contest for his belts, if you're not trying to fight Spence, Crawford, or Ugas, get the hell on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Go on, do your big money fight with Ryan Garcia, whatever you want to do, man. You a legend. Mm-hmm. So I ain't gonna disrespect the man. Do whatever you want to do, but stay out the way of the welterweight picture. Let these young guys have their time. Let them fight it out so we can get to the undisputed. If you're not serious about fighting one of those three guys, please don't slow it down.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. It's also another fight I would love to see Pacquiao in. They've been talking about Pacquiao fighting Garcia for years now. I would love to see the Danny Garcia Pacquiao fight.
Are they talking about Danny, not Mikey? Is it Danny or Mikey?
They talking about Mike. They're talking about Mikey, but I would love to see him fight Danny more so than Mikey, because the Danny Garcia fight been built up since Danny was at 140. They've been talking about Pacquiao and Danny for a while, a long time.
Danny.
I think at the stage, I think Danny needs a fight like that. Danny coming off Danny pretty much lost every big fight he had at welterweight. Every big fight he had at welterweight, he lost. From Keith Thurman to Sean Porter to Spence. I think him beating Pacquiao will throw him right back in that mix.
I like to see it. I just don't think Danny got the feet to even.
I agree with you.
I think he in trouble against Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao, if he want to look good, I think that's the guy to pick on. Him or Mikey Garcia.
Exactly.
I think any Garcia, he'll beat him.
I'm gonna tell you why the Danny fight is a win-win for either one of them. Because like you said, Pacquiao has the feet and Danny doesn't have the feet. If Pacquiao looked good against Danny and beats Danny in a way that Spence didn't, they would throw Pacquiao, like, he already high you can possibly go, but people will really be clamoring for that fight. But if Danny can land one of those looping wild hooks on Pacquiao has been asleep before.
He jump in.
If he jump in, and Danny does have the best timing that I've seen in a long time when it comes to those wild looping punches. If you put Pacquiao to sleep, he can write his own ticket on any fight he wants. He can fight, get that rematch with Spence if he wanted it.
Yeah.
But I think he would probably be better chasing Crawford first. Just Crawford, the more untested one.
So,
But it's
so we both agree that Garcia has some of the best timing in boxing.
most definitely.
So, Manny Pacquiao. Who was the fighter that gave him the most trouble in his career?
I mean, everybody would say Pacquiao, but I think Marquez probably had him.
Marquez. And what was Marquez's number one thing?
Marquez timed him. He timed him perfectly every time.
Timing. His counterpunching was elite. Like
Marquez,
Garcia.
And Marquez would take a beating to get his combinations off. And I think Garcia the same way. Garcia would take a beating to get that shot off.
Yeah. So the more I think about it, you got two styles that they both are very, very prone to. You got one guy that's cement feet and he can maneuver around him. You got another guy with great timing, which Pacquiao has problems with. He had problems with Mayweather with his timing. And like you said, Marquez gave him fits for those 4 fights because of his timing. Right. So I would like to see that. That's a good fight.
But you also got to look too, though. You got to think about it. They are not the same fighters that we're thinking about. Pacquiao is not the same Pacquiao that fought Marquez. It's not at all. Not at all. And Garcia, in his Spence fight, he didn't let his hands go. He pretty much got beat up the whole fight. And he pretty much just looked for the looping shots all night and just try to survive in the late rounds. So it's one of those things where you got to see who's done, who's a done fighter in this moment. That's why I think it's a fight that needs to happen, because you don't know which one of them two is done. It's pretty much you have to win this fight type scenario for both of them. So yeah, we see that. So who would you like to see Ugas fight?
Spence.
Well, you did say that earlier.
I think it's an easier fight to make. No, I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Crawford either, but it's an easier fight to make because if Ugas fights
the Pacquiao fight
Crawford, or he fight Crawford or Pacquiao, that means that Porter's gonna have to fight. I mean, who's gonna fight Spence? Spence, the only person Spence can fight right now is Crawford and Ugas. So
a mandatory.
A mandatory, which I don't want to see. Yeah. That's only gonna slow us up to what we really want to see. So I would want to see him fight.
Due to the pandemic, I see it's gonna happen anyway. I don't see them giving away a championship fight or a unification fight without being able to put a stadium. While Dallas, Texas is open, they still can only have like half the stadium field. And I think whether you put Ugas in there, no matter who you put Spence in there with, is going to fill the stadium, especially in Dallas.
Can Ugas and Spence sell?
It would sell in Dallas. Like I said, they'll fill the stadium just because Spence filled the stadium fighting a no-name. I can't even remember the Spanish guy he fought. But
Ocampo.
Campo, yeah, there you go. He filled the stadium fighting him. So I'm pretty sure he can fill it fighting Ugas.
How about pay-per-view? Can Spence go back to regular TV?
I don't think he would want to. I think he can sell on pay-per-view. He'll outsell what Canelo did last. I think Canelo only did like 300,000 or some low number that he did last time. So I see him outselling that fight easily. Just cause who he is. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know if Ugas he can't even speak English, so I don't even know how they would market that fight.
I don't know.
I don't know. I guess Spence would have to just sit back and wait and see what happens with the Ugas Pacquiao situation, and just hope and pray that Pacquiao take that fight and beat Ugas, because like you said, if it ain't Ugas, then it's got to be Crawford. And I don't know. Me personally, I'd rather see Ugas fight Crawford. I'm being honest. Maybe I'm a little Crawford biased though, but I look at it like Spence got 2 belts already. Let's let Crawford get that second belt off of Ugas. And just see it. Fuck it. Your 2 against my 2.
In the perfect world, yeah.
In the perfect world, yeah. Yeah, in the perfect world. But what up and coming welterweight you feel like that we're not mentioning today? What up and coming welterweight or forgotten welterweight do you think should be in this picture?
By the end of 2021, you got Boots.
Facts.
And you got OTs. Now I'm gonna ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about it. Who do you like better?
Boots or OTs?
Huh?
Between who?
Between Boots, Ennis, and Ortiz. Is it Ortiz?
Yeah. Ortiz got that punch. He got that power. But Boots got the whole from what I've seen so far, even though his competition hasn't been stiff yet, it seems like Boots got the full package. He seemed like he got the power, the boxing ability, the timing. Like he seemed like the next. I would say he seems like the type of person who would give. Let's throw a name out there. The top. Let's name. I see him beating Garcia.
Right now.
Yeah, I see Boots beating Garcia right now. I see Boots giving Ugas issues. I see Boots giving Sean Porter issues. As far as Crawford and Spence go, that's a little early to call for me. But the people under those two names, I feel like he has a high probability of beating them, especially when it comes to Pacquiao and most definitely Garcia. I think Garcia probably be in trouble against fighting Boots. What you think about that?
Danny Garcia against who?
Against Boots Ennis.
Boots Ennis?
Yeah. It would never happen. I don't see Garcia fighting him.
I'm telling you something about Boots. As far as talent and just looking, who Boots remind me of? He remind me of like a Kyrie Irving in basketball. Like when you watch him, he's so flashy and he's it looks good. It looks great.
Yep.
And it's just fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I look at little things I see in him. Mm-hmm. He need to clean it up, and people might not be seeing it, but he gets hit too much for me. But maybe because it's the level of his competition, he don't respect the guys in front of him, so he just walks through them. Kind
of how we were talking about Crawford earlier. He kind of got that fight to his level of competition thing.
So I don't know which one it is. I don't know if his defense need to be tightened up or he just don't respect his opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but like when you fighting a guy like Danny Garcia, you can't get caught with some of the shots he get caught with. But I think, like you said, Danny Garcia, the way he can move, I think he'll beat Danny Garcia right now. Mm-hmm. He has who they say they wanted him to fight next. I think the fight is made. Is it Lippernet?
That's a good fight.
I think that's the next fight. It's already been made, and I think it's supposed to be in the next 2 or 3 months, and it's already been made. And I think that's a great step-up fight for him. If I'm not sure, you might want to look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up, man. That's actually a great fight, I think. That's like you said.
I would love to see that because I'll be able to tell a little bit more. Like, for example, Ortiz is fighting Hooker, and I think that's a great fight for him. So,
how do you feel those two fights going?
Huh?
How you feel those two fights going?
I see them fight going.
Yeah, the Boots Ennis fight, it hasn't been made yet. It's not official yet. Well, how do you see that? No, it's not. It's not official yet.
Okay, not official yet. I think when you step up your level of competition, it might get him for a couple of rounds, but I think he gonna walk the dog on Lippernet, and I feel like Ortiz gonna stop Hooker.
What?
I told y'all then.
Hooker ain't nothing to sleep on though.
Gonna stop Hooker.
Hooker ain't nothing to sleep on though.
You wasn't there?
Hooker ain't nothing to sleep on though. That's actually a great fight.
Sleep on, but I'm telling y'all today. Look at me while I tell you this. Hooker is getting stopped. I guarantee it. If you're a betting man, go drop a little money on Ortiz to stop Hooker. Hooker ain't gonna make it. Is Bomac still training Hooker?
I believe so.
They better tighten that defense up. Because when he fought Ramirez, his defense was sloppy, and if he do that with Ortiz, he gonna get slaughtered.
Yeah, Ortiz got flaws too. How you saying that Boots had flaws? He get hit too much. Ortiz got flaws too. He's at the most speediest welterweight. I just leave it like that. And I do see Boots. Not Boots. I do see Hooker landing some shots on him. They could possibly get him out of there. Hooker has power in both hands.
Yeah, I see him hitting him. I see him hitting Ortiz.
Yeah.
I see it being a very entertaining fight.
It does. It is.
It's gonna be a war because Hooker is tough, man.
It's a must win.
Ramirez fight, he wouldn't back up. I think if he had reset and got himself together, he could have stayed in that fight. But when it turned to a war, he didn't want to back up.
Yeah,
and I think it cost him in that fight. And it could have been, like I said, he because that last fight was at 140. This fight at 147, he was saying he was having trouble making the weight. So I want to see that too. But that's the one factor that I'm.
They all made that excuse though. They all made that.
I know, but that's the factor I'm sleeping on. Maybe he was past the weight and he was weight drained, and that's why he got stopped. But we'll see. Cause hey, I'm a big fan of Ortiz. I'm on Ortiz bandwagon. I might be on the Ortiz bandwagon a little bit more than Boots. And I know everybody love Boots. They think he the next Roy Jones. And the guy's talented, but I might be a little bit more on Ortiz.
It's like our future debate then, because I'm more on Boots than I am Ortiz right now. But it's gonna be like
here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again with that. we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, we can call that a show, man. But like you said, we touched a lot of good ground today. I think we both agree on who needs to fight and what needs to happen in the welterweight division for us to try to crown a true king. I think the only difference in opinion we have is who's going to be on top when the dust settles.
I can tell you that right now.
I know you.
We'll talk about it later, but I mean, of course, it's Spence, man down.
I don't see nobody beating Crawford in that division.
Yeah, y'all leave in the comments. Don't let me know what y'all think.
Yeah, who you agree with? You agree with mine or you agree with me? Between Crawford and Spence. All right, we can call it a show, man. This CTE boxing, man. See your pieces, man.